Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the very first TechArt EDU live broadcast. I don't know about you guys, but I myself am I'm exhausted, but at the same time, I'm kind of like uber excited. I'm really, really excited, actually. I know this COVID-19 virus stuff. This is serious stuff. People are they're sequestered. People are being affected. They're dying because of this disease, and this is not a good thing. And in my opinion, this is a shape of things to come. This is going to happen more and more. But overall, just this last week, there was just so much going on within the CGI community that I couldn't contain myself anymore. I was just so excited that I realized that I just had to get out and I had to kind of push this forward in order to get this presentation going now. And right now, I thoroughly believe that now, specifically this point in time, is the greatest time in history to be a technical artist. Now, if you guys are here, if you're watching this presentation, then you're probably one of three things. There's one, you're probably already an existing digital artist professional working in the industry, and you've been working around for the other. You've been working for a little while, or you've been working for a long time. You say, "Hey, what's this nutto guy up to?" Well, I think I'd drop in, and so you figured out, "Oh, well, let's go check out what he's going on." You're either that or you're studying to become a digital artist. You're studying to become a technical artist, and you're in the process thereof, and you're probably feeling a bit overwhelmed. You're going, "Oh my God, there's just so much to learn here over this tech art stuff. This is crazy. I don't know what to do." Well, needless to say, that's what your life is at the moment, and I understand completely, and hopefully maybe I can help. But anyway, also, you are possibly just a fan of games, of video games, or if you're like a fan of immersive experiences, or you're a film fan, then you realize you drop in, you're kind of like contemplating on the chin and going, what's this tech art stuff? I don't know. This might be something cool to check out. Well, you know, definitely you're checking out in the right place because right now, all that considered, right now is the best time in history to be a technical artist. And let me go on to it. Now, I myself am Chris Rhoda. I am the technical art director at the University of Central Florida at the Florida Interactive Entertainment Academy. Okay, big words. Okay, FIA. Okay, here a little advertisement. UCF FIA. Okay, there it is. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, this is the celebration for FIA, 15th anniversary. Anyway, needless to say, we train people to become professionals inside of the game and film industry. But anyway, I've been working as the technical art director there for the last 6 years. Before that, I was the CG supervisor over at Electronic Arts. I was a CG supervisor for Madden and NCAA football for a bunch of years. Went through a whole bunch of processes on that. And before that, I spent about 15 years at 15 years as a digital artist working in Hollywood, where I worked on films and I worked on televisions, I worked on commercials, I worked on theme park experiences, and let's just say that I don't know how old you folks are, but if you haven't seen some of my work, then I guarantee that your parents have. So thank you, folks. Thanks for coming in. But overall, I'm all about empowering you and everyone else around to help you guys become creative wizards in creating your own virtual reality or creating your own reality and your own personal reality. That's what I'm all about. That's what I do at FIA. That's what I'm doing with iMyth, and that's what I'm doing with all of these things. And this is what I keep pushing, is to empower everyone to create their own realities. So let's just start right up with that. The stuff that's been going on for the last week has been freaking amazing. Just for other words. And one of the most amazing things to do was the unveiling of UE5. UE5 just really made me go bonkers here. Let me see if I can get this going here. Okay, let's see. We can go here. All right, hold on a second. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is not playing. So come on, let's go. Come on, baby. Update for me. All right. Okay. No, that's not doing it. Okay. Let's see if we can get this window to actually show up. And okay, no, it is not going, and so that's making me sad. Okay, so let's see if I can pull this up and interactively pull this up. So this is not fun. Okay, but this is, since this is like the first time we've ever tried to do this, this is, I guess, to be expected. But anyway, UE5 is coming out, and it is promising to be the end all and be all. They got two big features that they released here. One's called Lumen, and one's called Nanite. And UE5 is, believe it or not, while Lumen pertains to rendering, Nanite refers to the modeling environment. And believe it or not, they are exactly the same. They are related to each other, and they are supporting with each other, and you can't have one without the other. They're kind of our interrelated cousins to each other. But needless to say, Lumen and Nanite will literally change the way that we create. It'll change the way that we create games, the way we create movies, the way we'll create immersive experiences from time to time. This is really groundbreaking. This is like one of the craziest inventions. I'm so excited to get my hands working on this. Now let's see the second. Second issue here is. Let's see. Let's go. Is the okay? This is not. Epic Games doesn't want to play nicely with me here. Okay, so let's see if we can get. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see if we can get this going here. Okay, thank you for your patience. Trying to get this thing going here. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, there it is. Oh, maybe that was going. I don't know. But let's take a look at what's going on here over at NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA has just been rocking the boat, considering all the stuff that they've been doing lately. And they came out with 3 buku major demonstrations this week, and it was just totally overwhelming. Well, the first is ray tracing. What you see here in the image that we're looking at here, this is ray traced. This is the fully thing, it's ray tracing. This whole thing is done entirely in real time. Now, I know it's been captured, but I don't really know it, but there's that fellow, he's playing it. Now, you look at Marble Madness, like from the 80s to where it is now, this is like unbelievable. So the real time is going. In order to get this real time ray tracing going, what they had to do was get all involved with AI. Now, believe it or not, there is a huge amount of AI going on here, along with machine learning and deep learning, and there's all of this about. So suddenly NVIDIA is not only about graphics, but NVIDIA is all about AI now, and about machine learning and about deep learning. And they're also got one more thing going on, which is a kind of combination of everything, and it's called something called Omniverse. Now, Omniverse is UE4's, NVIDIA's attempt to pull all of computer graphics into one visual format. So that means you now can look at a scene that is dealing with Omniverse. You can look at it in Maya, and then you can look at that scene in UE4, and you're going to see the exact same thing. You can see the thing, and if it's in Houdini and it's in RenderMan, you can go and look at it in Omniverse, and it's inside UE4. It's going to look exactly the same way. So this is a homogeneous kind of computer graphic environment. Now, this is, really the amazing stuff of what's going on, and this is just amazing times, and I'm just so excited to get involved with that, and the stuff that the stuff that NVIDIA is putting together is really putting it all together. And there's one other additional event that not everyone was aware of. And let me see if I can focus on that. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. All right. We got that. Okay. No, we don't want to see that. Ah. Okay. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, hopefully you can see this. Let's see. Now we got to see that, and let me see if I can expose this. Okay. Okay. Well, okay. We still got the NVIDIA story there. Okay. User error. User not able to use the equipment here. Yes, I am guilty of it. Okay. Apple. Apple is the the new keyword. Now, Apple has just acquired a company called NextVR. Now, NextVR, although they dealt with streaming VR inside of they stream live events inside VR. What this means now is that there is now a dedication for Apple to be devoted to VR. Now, when Apple says that it is now making a dedication to VR, VR is here. VR is here. VR is going to be part of our realities and so forth. So that was the third major announcement this week that really kind of shocked the boat because we've got these three events. Now, there's two other smaller events that have been going on that are also really important that have been going on, and I want to keep note of that. And a lot of you might be aware of these already. And now one of them is that USD is here. Okay, Pixar USD, Universal Scene Description, is a way of fulfilling the whole Omniverse promise. This is a way of describing all of the scene inside 3D and doing it in such a way that collaborators from all over the world can contribute to the same scene at the same time, and everyone can work together as one particular unit, and then they can all work at the same time, and they can all see the end result at the same time. In my opinion, USD is the total game changer because USD is the formal language at which Omniverse for NVIDIA is going to execute itself. This is going to be the thing that starts enabling people to start creating entire worlds. And the other thing that's going on that a lot of people also are aware of is that UE4 has purchased Megascans and Quixel. And you say, okay, what a big deal. No, actually, this is a really big deal. Okay, Megascans and Quixel have been focusing for the last 10 years or so on scanning objects, photogrammetry, and scanning textures. And they've been getting photorealistic textures, and they've been developing a suite of tools in order to create physically based textures for these incredibly precise models. And the stuff that they've been creating is just amazing. And what's even cooler is that not only is there this huge library that keeps on expanding and growing every day of materials and objects, but also anything created inside of Quixel and Megascans, you can now swap textures of the same metadata with just the slightest change of a style guide. So that means you can create a generic world. And then you could get it to look one way by changing the style guide to this to match the theme world that goes into this. And then you can use that same information for that world description. And then you can move that and change the style guide and move it over to that. And then suddenly you don't have to recreate the world again. All you're doing is rechanging all the textures, and you're rechanging all of the you're changing the style guide. That's all you're doing. But you got an entirely different game. You got an entirely different world. Now this is really big. This is going to help speed things along, and I'll get to this later. So what this translates to in the next 5 to 10 years, the CGI community is going to be focused on creating immersive theme world experiences. So what this means is that, okay, you've got games, if you've got films and you've got a theme park theme park, military simulations, government, advertising, communication, legal, blah 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 blah. Okay, and you've got and what these are all dealing with are entire virtual worlds. They're inside the VR, they're inside the PC, now they're inside the tablet and they're mobile. Okay, get rid of all those distinctions. What the events this week just indicated is that none of that means anything anymore. It's all the same. That means that what used to be considered as offline and it differs from being real time is now irrelevant. And whether you look at something in Maya or you look at something in Blender or Houdini, or whether you look at something in UE4 or in Unity, it doesn't matter anymore. It's all the same. And so that's the implication, is that all these combined forces can work together to start creating much larger. Now, art-wise, what does that mean? It says that in the next 5 to 10 years, everything is going to be going towards high-end modeling, using photogrammetry, rendering. Everything is, whether we like it or not, it's all going to ray tracing. And because everything's going to all ray tracing, that means we all got to learn all about ray tracing, ray marching, and volumetric rendering. That's the way of things are going. And in order to support that, we can't get those things without really a heavy-duty deep dive into AI, machine learning, and of course, deep learning. It all has to deal with that. That's what we do that. But this is all going to support photorealistic avatars. You, me, everyone else is going to be represented by a digital avatar that we can fabricate, or that we can work on, that we can modify, or they can work with author. Regardless, it's going to look photoreal. We're going to suddenly start dealing with, it's going to be impossible to tell the difference between another person inside of an immersive experience and a non-player character. It doesn't matter anymore. The photorealistic avatars are going to replace it all. And then suddenly we're going to have to start dealing with the omniverse. And the omniverse means is, yes, we're going to be working with people that are using different packages than us. We're going to be working with in Unity. We're going to be working in UE4. We're going to be working in Houdini and Maya, all in the same context. And in order to just find that, that means that we're all going to have to start working over into USD. And these are the directions that things are going over into the next 5 to 10 years. And so what this essentially means is that there's just not enough 3D artists and animators in the world. Even more importantly, there's not enough money to pay for all the 3D artists and animators in order to keep up with demand. They just don't exist. It's just, you saw that UE4 demo. Let's see if we can try to get that UE4 demo up and going again. Let's try again here. Let's see what we can do. Okay, let's see. We've got that going. And let's see here. We've got the video. Okay, as you can see here, yeah, we've got the final video. I don't know why it didn't work earlier, but user error on my part here. But let me get back to my notes. But what this means is that there's just not enough artists in the world to handle all the content. Look at this content. It's unbelievable. It's just so overwhelming. The solution is going to come to procedural world creation. That means that tech artists right now, with technology and computers, they can now powerfully leverage their skills and the skills of others to start producing greater quality, at greater quantity, and faster than ever before. This is the only way that we're going to be able to keep up with the content of the desires. So my message to everybody is not just to the digital artists, is keep honing your crafts. For all you digital artists out there, keep mastering the fundamentals and then start focusing, start abstracting your stills. Start understanding what it means to tell a story. Become a visual storyteller. Okay, for all you animators out there, keep focusing on the 12 principles of animation. Once you've got those 12 principles of animation nailed, start working on your scene composition, and that means start to become your own directors of your own little mini movies. Keep learning how to become an immersive, interactive storyteller. This is where things are going, and as far as immersive, interactive storytelling is concerned, it's far more complicated, and there's a lot more to deal with than just traditional 2D film and traditional gameplay. This is a lot more, and as soon as you start dealing with VR, then a whole new the whole new bunch of problems start coming into it. They're very interesting problems, but needless to say, there's other, you're going to have to deal with it. Okay, for you 3D artists, keep working on your basics, and that means anatomy. You got to create photorealistic avatars. That means you got to start working on shape and silhouette. You got to keep focusing on perspective, value, and composition. You have to know your story world. Don't just create what's cool. Do what it takes to promote and enhance the story world. Tell the backstory of the entire world through your models. Okay, now through you tech artists, keep on understanding your core CGI, which means keep on being a discipline of pipeline. Keep on being a disciple of animation and rigging. Keep on focusing on rendering and lighting. And most of all, keep working on visual effects, which is kind of like the combination of pipeline animation and rendering, all dealing with all at the same time. In other words, become fearless. There's a lot of stuff coming at you, so don't worry about it. So my best description to you is start knitting your asbestos underwear, because you're going to be jumping into the fire and you don't want to get your vitals singed. All right, for you tech artists, now we had those primary areas. Now you got to start focusing on these new areas. You got to learn all about ray tracing. Volumetric rendering is now the key. Look at the scene. There's probably 20 billion polygons in this scene. 20 billion. That is unfreaking believable. That means they're no longer working with polygons anymore. They're working with something. They're working with some other critter. And it all has to do with ray tracing, ray marching, and volumetric rendering. Okay, you got to start learning about AI. You got to start learning about machine learning and deep learning, because AI is going to become an integral part of everything that's rigging. Rigging is going to go everything as the AI. AI is going to be in animation. Animation, just in this scene here, is being driven by AI, where AI is telling the feet where to go. Did you see this feet in this animation? It's awesome. No slippages anywhere. That's because there's an AI engine telling the feet where to go every single way. 3D modeling. The 3D modeling is going to take place, and there's going to be stuff to identify, what is a proper looking object, and AI is going to take a big part of that. And of course, rendering. Ray tracing is not going to be achievable without having to do with without dealing with AI. And of course, pipeline. Okay, the use of DCC is now a matter of stylistic and artistic choice and direction. It's irrelevant, but that means you got to start focusing on Omniverse and USD, and you got to start focusing on all the DCCs, not just Maya, just Houdini, but you got to understand Blender, you got to understand Max, you got to understand UE4, you got to understand Unity, you got to know everything, because suddenly everyone's going to be working on all those all at the same time. Instead of just focusing on games, you got to understand film process. You got to understand the film pipeline now. You got to worry about the theme park and the immersive experience pipeline. They're all becoming the exact same. You can't hide them. You can't avoid them. So these are the things that you got to take a swallow here. But, have no fear. That's what my intention of creating TechArt EDU is all about. You tech artists have got a full plate, and I want to try to help out with all that. What this translates is that there's just so much to do that more tech artists are going to be needed than ever before to bridge the gap between art and technology. And because there's going to be such this great demand of tech artists, and this is now really the greatest time in history to be a technical artist. So if you're already studying to be a technical artist, or you are a technical artist, wise choice, keep on improving your skills. You've got more to learn. If you're thinking about going into the computer graphics, the game, the film, the immersive experience industry, keep it up. You've chosen a great area, and you've chosen a great time to be part of this, because this is all exploding. Okay, So here it is. This is what I wanted to say today. Now, if you like what you saw, go ahead, like me. Go ahead and hit the little like button on the corner there. Give me some love. Drop me a message. I saw some very familiar names. Thanks, guys out there. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate your help. If you want to, go ahead and subscribe to me. Or maybe if you didn't like what you see, I want to hear about it too. Contact me at chris@techart.edu, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. I'd love to hear your feedback. Technical difficulties all being aside. And there's one other announcement that I have to make, and let's see if I can get this up and going. Let's see if we can move this over. No, 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 no. I feel like Madeline Kahn. Okay, no. Okay, I'll have to post this. I can't seem to get this going. But today, I'm also broadcasting a free Houdini session. I'm also the guy who runs the Houdini Orlando users group and the OHUG. That's what it's called. Okay, and I'm broadcasting today at 3 o'clock. Keep an eye open for this and the other postings for the address of where to go on to. And if you want to get some free Houdini training, we'll be going on to, this is a basic introduction to Houdini Vex. And this is some basic powerful stuff. If you have a little bit to know programming, that's okay, because what we're trying to do is get you going as quickly as possible. But anyway, come and check me out if you want to on the free Houdini session this afternoon. And otherwise, I'll try to see if I can get another broadcast out by this bat time next week. So thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for coming along. And I hope to see you guys all in the very near future. So thank you very much.